Hello everybody, I'm back with a normal video, and in this video I'm going to be covering a game that I played a lot before I got into IDV. Played this game back in around 2019 and it's called Mafia Mystery. It's a free game in the App Store that I've been recently coming back into as I've been getting a little burnt out by playing so much IDV. So I've been kind of taking a little break recently, just a little brain break to come back into this game, and I've been enjoying my time so far. So this will be a beginner's guide on the game. So I'll be splitting this guide into 3 parts. The first part I will be discussing the general rules of the game. In the second part I'll be talking about the different roles and characters that you can play. And in the third part I'm going to be covering 2 games that I played with a few players in the official Mafia Mystery server, and I'll be leaving a link to that server in the description below if you want to join their community. So without further ado, let's get into it. Mafia Mystery is a game which has between 6 and 16 players in a game. There's 3 factions: the Village, the Mafia, and the Independent. The Village's goal is to execute the entire Mafia by the day cycle, and the Mafia's goal is to outnumber the Village so that they can take over the Village. Independents have unique roles that are independent to the winning conditions of the other 2 factions, so I won't cover them just yet. The twist in the game is that nobody knows who each other is, so none of these roles will be able to know exactly who anybody else is until they are revealed later in the game. So it really is up to the Village to determine who really is on their side, and up to the Mafia to mind game them and to mind gaming the Village that they are a fellow villager. In this game, there is both a day cycle and a night cycle. During the night cycle, the Village is able to perform specific actions relating to the roles, while during the day, the Village is able to vote to execute 1 player. So naturally, the majority of the Mafia's kills come during the night cycle, while the majority of the Villages come during the day when they're able to vote other players out with their majority. There are many roles that help each team win their objectives. From this point, we move on to our next part, of which I will explain each of these individual character roles. Going in order, first we have the Villager, who has no special function other than he is sided with the Village. Moving on, we have the Cop. The Cop is able to visit 1 character a night and is able to determine whether they are sided with the Village or Mafia factions. This seems like an easy role to play at first, except that the Mafia will also be trying to claim this role at some point in mini-games, which can complicate things a lot. So, and it's the same thing with the next role, which is the Doctor. The Doctor is able to visit 1 player during the night cycle as well, and if that character is about to be killed by the Mafia, the Doctor is able to heal them during that time and they won't die during that night cycle. Towards the beginning of the game, it is generally a good strategy to heal yourself at night and save your life until you are able to preserve a key role such as a Cop or a Creeper. Next, we have the Sniper, which in my opinion is one of the tougher roles to play well. The Sniper is able to shoot another player to kill them, but the twist is that they only have 1 bullet. So it can be sort of a high-risk, high-reward character if they're able to kill a key role in the Mafia, but this role can also sometimes backfire if you kill a player that is sided with the Village. Next, we have the Granny. The Granny is able to kill anybody that visits them during the night, but that also involves both villagers and players side with the Mafia. To play this character, it's usually good to reveal that you're the Granny if a Mafia player dies to the Granny, because at that point the Mafia already knows who it is, so that you don't risk any players from the Village visiting the Granny and dying as well. And next we have the Creeper. The Creeper is able to visit other players and determine who else visited them during the night. So this character can require some big braining because, but he is able to to determine who visited specific players during the night and can often play key roles in determining who is indeed the Mafia. Next, we have the Bulletproof. The Bulletproof is just like the Village in that he doesn't have specific actions, except if he's targeted by the Mafia, he has an extra life because he has a bulletproof vest. And next we have the Gravedigger. The Gravedigger is honestly my favorite role. The Gravedigger is able to communicate with the dead chat at night. So he's able to communicate with players that have already been killed. And once per game, he is able to sacrifice himself in order to revive another player. So he can revive specific key roles in the Village and can oftentimes be a big part in helping the Village win by reviving important roles back into the game that have already died. You can also gather information from the dead chat to communicate with his living fellows. Next, we have the Deputy. The Deputy works alongside the cops, but the Deputy is able to visit other players and arrest them, which means that they won't be able to vote to execute another player during the day cycle. So it can oftentimes be important, but keep in mind that if you play this character wrong, you might be arresting a player cited by the Village, and you might get one less vote. Lastly, for the Village side, we have the Traveler. The Traveler is able to visit and basically take all visits coming from that player. So he's able to body block for key roles. So like if the Mafia is going to be visiting another player, the Traveler can go and is able to body block what would have killed that player. And now we have the Mafia roles. So first of all, we have the standard Mafia. They're able to visit one player at night, and that player, if they're not healed by a doctor, dies on the following day cycle. Next, we have the Godfather, which does the exact same thing, except when the cop visits him, it doesn't show up that he's part of the Mafia. It shows up that he's sided with the Village. So it can make things a lot more complicated for the cop if played well. Next, we have the Framer. The Framer is an interesting role. He's able to take an innocent player, and if the Framer and a cop both visit a specific player, that player will show up as Mafia to the cop. It's extremely difficult to talk your way out of getting framed, so the Framer can have a high reward. Next, we have the Kamikaze, which is exactly what it sounds like. During the day sequence, they're able to choose one target player to kill. That player won't be able to defend themselves during the day sequence, as the doctor is only able to heal at night. And the twist is that the Kamikaze will also die in the process. The goal of the Kami is to get rid of one of the most powerful roles. Next, we have the Toaster. The Toaster is a very creative role, I believe. The Toaster's role action takes place over 2 nights instead of 1, which makes them different. During the first night of a visit, they role block that character, so like cop's not able to visit a character, the creep's not able to visit a character, that type of thing. But during the following night, if they're not healed by the doctor, they end up getting killed. So they need to communicate with their doctor that the Toaster visited them so that they don't die the following night. Next, we have the Interrogator, which isn't able to kill other players, but what they do is they visit other players, and they're able to communicate with the Mafia afterwards what specific role that player has. And now we have the Maid, which can be a very important role. What the Maid does is if they visit at the same point that the Mafia went to kill, the Maid is able to quote-unquote clean up the body, and then that player's role won't be revealed in the library once they've been killed. Now we have the Robber. Robber is a very interesting one. He has 2 steal attempts in which he can steal a consumable item from the Village, which includes the Bulletproof's vest, the Sniper's bullet, or the Gravekeeper's shovel, which is my personal favorite. And the Robber is only able to steal, he only has 2 steal attempts, so be sure to use them wisely. And now we get into independent roles, which I think are a little bit more difficult to play, because they have completely separate win conditions. The Fool needs to be executed by the Village. Can't be killed by the Mafia, not by the Sniper, nothing. the Fool needs to be executed by the village during the day sequence. So he needs to convince the Mafia that he's a key role in the village, but he needs to convince the village that he's a key role in the Mafia. So you're trying to get voted out, essentially. And now we have the Mad Scientist, which is a very new character. The Mad Scientist needs to visit one player a night, and their goal is to be able to essentially the good strategy is to experiment on players that you think will be lasting throughout the entirety of the game, because the Mad Scientist needs to be able to experiment on everybody in the game. The interesting thing is that he dies to the granny, so in most games he has to visit the granny last so that he doesn't die earlier on in the game. But yeah, I think that's all the rules, so I think it's time to get into some example games. Okay, so this is our first match we've got, and it looks like we got the role of the Creeper. So you can see this kind of layout. You got all these little people here. You can drag them around, it's kind of fun. But anyways, you click on your house, and you get to choose someone to visit during the night phase. So if I decide I want to visit, we'll say Taylor, I click on that, there's a little icon there, and a lot of times there will be like voting phases where it's like the people that have more like names listed under them will get voted out, but that's during the day phase. Oh yeah. Always like the you can see. So I can see through this building at the library, which is on the left here, it says the cop was killed. A person was arrested, which means they can't vote. And I Creep Taylor, no one visited them, so that's what that looks like. And you can see if I wanted to vote someone, I would click someone like that. You can go around like this. Yeah, but I'm just gonna settle on nobody. That's what usually happens day one. And the center town hall, you get to see. Nice. So we look at the library, no one visited them. So it might be good to, I like spectating people that are pretty active in the chat because they're more likely to get targeted. So let's see, who's active? You're active. We'll spectate you, make sure nobody visits you. Okay, yeah, so there is a toaster in this match, and they say they were toasted, which means that the doc needs to go on this person, or else they'll die the following day, and we'll see what that looks like in the library. They were not visited. We can see that person was saved by the doc. The interrogator, oh, the sniper took their shot and killed the interrogator, so that's good for us because we're saved by the village. The deputy was killed, however, so there's going to be no more arrests. You can see the roles remaining by clicking the top left corner there. I haven't been active in the chat. Usually you're more active, but... Oh, man. I'm the creep. I'm the creep. No, they're gonna vote me. See, this is why you gotta be active in the chats. I was too busy explaining stuff. They didn't vote me. They didn't vote me. Nice, we got the Godfather. 1 minute days are so fast. Yeah. So, I'm gonna spectate them because the toaster targeted them night 1. They might go for the kill. Oh, they are toasted. I'm the creep. I'm just gonna keep saying that, even though it might get me targeted. There's always a little bit of risk to that. I think this means that means that the toaster visited them. Pretty sure that's what it means. Oh yeah, so they were the doc. I don't want to vote. I don't want to vote. It's so fast. I don't know. That was the doctor? Oh, then they were lying to us. SMH. At this point, we know they're Mafia. Oh, but all they need is one more kill. They only need one more kill. This is what happens when I don't look at the chat so much. I don't know, I'm just going to watch someone random. Why not? But you can see where this can kind of get really fast-paced when you got multiple roles. Everybody's like claiming all sorts of things. There's a lot of strategy in it, and yeah, see, they only need one more kill, and then they outnumbered us. See how that worked there? There were 3 Mafia left, and only me and the Bulletproof was left. Alright, so this one, we got the Mafia. So we can see we can select someone to visit and attack. Who do we visit? I always type out my emojis. I forgot that my name was Woodwind Master here. It's a very old username of mine. Oh, we killed the villager. We killed the useless role. Help. So, ours is getting voted. So we see Carson there. Claimed because he's the commie. So what he wants to do is he wants to get them to vote someone off. So what we got to do is we got to try... They're currently AFK at the moment, but what we do is we say that they're the Mafia, and hopefully what's going to happen is they're going to get voted out, and then they're going to like blow up. I don't know, I gotta claim something. I have to say doc, I guess. This is what I do. Oh man, there's been so many... You can like try hard this game and know exactly what they're doing. I haven't gotten there yet, because I'm coming back from a longer break of this game. But it's kind of the idea. Look, I can fling them all off the screen. And they start celebrating and there's music. No. Let's see if we can convince them. Probably not, but we'll try. It's worth a shot. It's probably not going to work, but... Yeah, it wasn't going to work. It was a long shot, but it's still a fun game. Once you get like 16 people in here and it's like a party, this is why I think this would be a fun game to like stream with a whole bunch of people. I like doing this. This is fun. Oh. I like the little people. And they come back. Or not. They dead. Anyways, you can see where this can be fun. Oh, man. F. Good shot. Good shot. Okay, so for the next match, we are the Bulletproof. So, we do not have... Ooh, okay. We do not have any specific roles for the night. See, we click the house and it just gives us an explanation of our roles. Oh yeah, I should probably also mention that for larger party games, sometimes it can be more fun to make the days and nights longer or shorter, so that's what you're seeing here. There are 4-day nights and days. And we can see we have the Creeper, which again visits people. Bulletproof is me. Gravedigger revives someone that's already dead and can talk with the dead chat. And the Traveler is the one that can body block other roles. Oh, we have a toaster, but no doctor. So if we get toasted, we're dead the next night. Okay. We'll see who gets targeted. I'm talking to you all on YouTube. This will be right at the end of the video. Sometimes it's fun to play villagers. There are roles that are like a little bit more stressful to play, and then other ones that aren't. Like, it's kind of more stressful to be like a mafia than it is to be a villager, because with the villager you just, yeah, but with me, I'm just kind of hanging. I don't really have much responsibility here. So we got one more time until the day cycle, and again, it's the building on the top left. That'll show all of the library. If you click that again, you can see all the players and stuff. But then we got chat, and then we got the courthouse, which is closed during the night, obviously, because the day session is when you vote people off. I probably should have explained all this before I started. Okay, we have 15 seconds. Ooh. I like flinging them all off the screen. Get off me! Get out of here. Okay. Oh, I was apparently going to. No. I'm gonna ping myself. It's not me. I don't know. I'll vote for anybody else. Okay, we'll vote for nobody. We'll do that. No. Oh, see, they're voting for me, and they convinced one person. SMH. Every once in a while I get players that are AFK. Okay, so someone's going... Okay. Yes, they're gonna kill me because we need an example of the graveyard chat. That's what's gonna happen here. That's what's gonna happen. No, I play IDV too much. I wanted Anne. Oh wait, he says... What? So, hold on. The Gravekeeper. Yeah. I want to be resurrected. This is, yeah, see, because what's gonna happen is he's gonna sacrifice himself so that I could be alive. Yeah. Just gonna say you all approve of it, because that means I get to be alive again. Get to be alive again. So, if they go after the Gravekeeper, but I get resurrected, then that's our only chance of winning. But then again, I don't know. Gravekeeper is my favorite role in the game. I just find it so interesting to be able to talk with the dead chat. Oh yeah, if you do too many characters, it just says text is too long. YouTube approves of the sacrifice. Man. So after these 20 seconds are up, I'm gonna get resurrected again. So it looks like for this video, we got 3 matches, and it looks like we're gonna lose every one, but that's okay. That's okay. That's fun because it's a party game, and it's really fun once you get like 16 people in here in all different roles. It's all insanity. I got resurrected, but then the creeper was killed. Okay. And see, now there's 2 Mafia and it's just me. I'm gonna execute myself. Oh man. Alright. So yeah, that's pretty much the game. Alright, so that just about covers it for the video. I'd like to hear some of your responses in the comment section about whether you're interested in possibly joining me on future streams for this, whether just watching the streams or actually playing with me. I'd like to hear responses from you all. I've really enjoyed this game, and I think it would be fun if you all enjoyed it too, and maybe it could be a possibility for a game for me to stream in the future. But yeah, I'd like some feedback, so just let me know. Drop a comment, and just, yeah, I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.